Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to part 2 of our Let's Play of Terraforming Mars with the Prelude Expansion. Now in there, we are playing as Shuangxing Mars Corporation, which has a nice discount to building cards, even though we haven't really been doing that. We've really been playing space-centric, just because of the project cards we've been dealt with. It is the start of generation number 5. We are now going to be buying cards. We've got 4 cards in front of us. They cost us 3 megabucks each to play. Now, our current hand, we've got a couple of really expensive space cards, which we'd like to play fairly soon, because they generate more income for us, so it's going to be quite good. We do have a lot of titanium, so this is 18 bucks worth of titanium over here, so we will have no problem playing either one of these two. We can't play both, unfortunately. We don't have enough money for that. Although I would be able to play one plus the Lagrange Observatory if we want, which does give me an extra card. But it does give us a little bit extra room to produce stuff. I'm kind of tempted at the Vesta Shipyard. It's worth $1. It gives us a little bit more income. And the joking tags could be worth victory points at the end. The other thing is we do have, because of our corporation, it's cheaper for us to build anything with these building tags. And if we were able to get up to 8 building tags in play... What do we have right now? We have 6. Do I have a building tag in my hand? I do not. I could do that and fund a milestone, which is worth 5 victory points and is fairly substantial. Greenhouse gives us 1 plant for each city in play. And there are already a few cities in play, and that might not be terrible. Power infrastructure allows us to convert energy into money whenever we want, which is nice, but not a huge deal. I mean, at some point, we might not need any more titanium production. Although I suppose we could fund the minor award, which might be an interesting path. Of course, I could buy nothing here, since I still have cards in my hand that I can play. But I think the Vesta Shipyard is probably worth it, because we have so much titanium production, this will effectively cost us nothing and be worth a victory point. So we'll do that, and might get us towards a position where we're comfortable playing the minor award, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Point Line is putting down Security Fleet now. That's going to give them some victory points, but not as much as if they'd played at turn 1. Got livestock happening for Hellion here. They're going to start making victory points from putting animal tokens on their livestock card. All right, so now it's us. So if I put down a city, we could go and fund the mayor thing, and that might not be the dumbest thing ever. Because when you place a city with a standard project, it does give you 1 income. So, you know, we could place it here because it's already next to one greenery, and then we could add a greenery here, which would be next to 2 cities, which is pretty good value. We could put it here. It comes out to exactly the same. I could put a city here. It'd be next to 2 greeneries that are already down, and that actually might be a pretty good move. Anyway, if I put down I could put down a city, and then immediately get the mayor milestone. Could actually afford that. Hold on, because a city is 25, so that leaves me with 9, which is enough to do it. And then I still have tons of titanium. I might be able to play some stuff, and I'll still have the ability to use my space elevator, yeah, for that. I'm kind of tempted. 5 victory points is a lot. And being able to ninja that's going to be really good. We still have a good chance of getting Builder. I mean, really, I don't think anyone else can get Builder, even though we don't have any Builder cards right now. Planner, I don't think it's going to happen. Terraformer, at some point, someone will grab it. So we may not be able to get anything else. I think it's smart to make a move for the city milestone here, even though it doesn't really improve our economy too much. I think I'm going to put it here. It's next to 2 greeneries already. It sort of screws up this reserve tile, and it's next to an ocean, which is kind of decent. And it'll give us a plant, which is worth something. So we'll do that, yeah. So Tharsis gets the income, and Helion's making money every time a city is placed, but deal with it. So we're going to fund Mayor over here, which is going to give us 5 victory points. A lot of times when I play against the AI in this game, I actually set a personal rule. This is a shout out to my friend Demonek, who came up with this idea to make the game more challenging versus the AI here, to not fund milestones and not fund awards. You can still compete for an award. So milestones is whoever pays for it, like whoever meets the requirement and pays for it, they're just locked in, they get 5 victory points at the end of the game. The awards are different. Someone funds the award, but at the end of the game, whoever's got the most blah is the one who actually gets the victory points. So it's a risk to fund an award because you don't always get it yourself. But generally speaking, you fund something you think you're going to win. First and second place gets a reward for that. So With that, personal rule, we, still compete for the awards, but we don't actually fund them. But I decided to go ahead and do this because, you know what? I felt like it this time. So I still have enough because of our titanium. We actually have enough to still play one of those cards. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to use my space elevator, spend the steel, and get that, which actually gives me enough for the aerobraked ammonia asteroid. Now this gives us microbes to a card, which I don't particularly care about. Raise the heat production, plant production, versus Vesta Shipyard, which gives us more titanium. I think I want the aerobraked ammonia asteroid first. Especially, it's more expensive, so it might be harder to do later on. I mean, the earlier I get the titanium, the cheaper the space cards are. The earlier I get the heat, the more I might be able to raise the heat for free, which is something we can still do. And the plant production lets us do greeneries. It's sort of 6-1, half a dozen. I could wait until I might have a bacteria card I care about, but I think this is probably the right thing to do. Generally speaking, I usually want to play the more expensive cards because it'll give us more options later. Although I guess if you play the cheaper card, you have more money left over, so you still have more options later. And sort of 6-1, half a dozen the other. And I don't want to sit here and spend too long trying to calculate the optimal play because we just have to get moving. So Point Luna's putting titanium and building their space fleet, their security fleet. It's going to be worth a lot of victory points at the end of the game. So yeah, the terraforming here is your base, your starting point for your score, but then it adds up like based on the board, based on stuff in your cards. It does so much stuff. I don't really have anything to do, so we'll just go ahead and do a hard pass over here. Boom, boom, boom. We tend to be passing earlier than other people, but we have fewer cards with actions. That's one of the big things. Well, we're playing expensive cards, so we're not, needing many turns to play a bunch of cheap cards. And we also don't have a lot of cards with actions on them, so our turns tend to be a little bit short, but despite being behind on TR, I'm not feeling terrible. We do have to start working on victory points now, though. Our economy is really in good shape, but because of Prelude, the game's a lot shorter, and so maybe, I don't know, I am a little concerned. We'll see. Hopefully we can get some TR from doing some actual terraforming. That would be nice. What can we buy here? Okay, so I don't think Artificial Lake's a good pick here. It does let you put an ocean for cheaper than normal, plus it gives a victory point by itself, but the temperature needs to be quite a bit higher before we can play this, and all the oceans might be gone. Caretaker Contract lets us convert heat into terraforming rating, which this is a good card if the heat's already maxed out. Because right now, 8 heat lets us raise the temperature by 1, which gives us a terraforming rating, so it's a little bit redundant. But it gives us something you can spend heat on even when this is maxed out. Special design I don't care about. Mining Expedition. That's not bad, actually, because it raises the auction level by 1, while giving us some steel back. And it eats 2 plants from any player. I think it's worth grabbing this, because increasing the auction gives us terraforming rating, which is victory points for the end. Greenhouse gases being imported by Hellion. Okay, they got lots of heat kicking around. So, if I do a quick peek over here, I just want to confirm that at least someone had some plants, which will make this worth playing. I guess it doesn't literally have to be... Well, okay. Sorry, I meant this worth playing. So this is income, because this gives me terraforming rating, which is income, plus gives me, a little bit of steel. Not that we have anything that we can discount it with right now. This is also income over here. This is also income. So those continue to be the priority. So basically, I'd like to play anything but Lagrange Observatory. I don't feel like anything's about to be capped out. I might prioritize Mining Expedition just because the auction's a little closer to being capped. So I propose we open with the Mining Expedition. So we get the oxygen. We will take plants away from... well, Tharsis actually has enough this turn to put down a greenery. Or sorry, Point Luna. As I say, Tharsis, I'm kind of scared of them winning. They're probably very strong, but this will actually screw up Point Luna's ability to put down a greenery this turn, because 8 plants lets you put a greenery down instead of doing the standard project. So that's a really shitty move to do in a human being. It's a good way to not have friends anymore. But we're gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Arguably, we get more income from the nitrogen-rich asteroid. Well, no, there's no arguably. We get more income from nitrogen-rich asteroid than the one titanium over here. So we'll do this. Yeah, we may as well spend all the titanium we can on this project. So we'll spend 13 bucks. Raise the temp. Get some extra terraforming rating and some plant production as well, which is going to be nice because hopefully we can use that to put down some plants. So he's playing a card to draw 2 extra cards, then a fuel factory. And I could go and manually count up everything people have and figure out how many victory points they've got kicking around. That is absolutely something you can go and check. But let's leave it as a bit of a mystery. So he's activating a card to put down some microbes. Oxygen's raising. What we would like is if we had enough money to put down a greenery, we'd love to do that. Because a greenery, first of all, every greenery you place is worth a point. And for every greenery next to a city you own, that's another victory point. But you really want to put the greeneries ideally before the oxygen runs out, because a greenery also raises the oxygen. However, we don't have enough money for that. I can't play any of these cards. I still have an action here to Space Elevator. Which does mean I could afford to play the Lagrange Observatory, which does give us a card. So there's an argument to be made that playing this as early as possible will let us see what that card is and open up our options. On the other hand, I might not spend it. That way I'll keep the money for next turn in case I want to buy something really expensive. If it turns out that there's nothing really good for us to buy, then we can just play the Observatory and draw the card at that point. I will, however, increase the heat, because that will give us terraforming rating, which is more income for next turn, which is lovely. Then I think we'll just pass. Noctis City, it's a special card. It plays the city here. No one can play in that tile normally, other than Noctis City. So yellow's definitely going to want a greenery here. They might greenery here, which could give us points. Speaking of, there we go. Oxygen is nearly capped out. Import water from Europa. So it's going to give them a better way to import some oceans. Although there's only 3 left. So, our turn. I can still do that, but I'm not gonna. No actions left. Standard projects, no. So I will simply pass. So once again, I'm the first person to pass, although I suspect most people will be passing now, because we did have a few turns. Tharsis passed. Point Luna is just activating one of their cards to do microbe things. Hellions passed. Point Luna is definitely gonna pass now, because they only took 1 action, which was that, so it's probably, yeah, they were done there. In real life, you can do some strategic gameplay by, like, only taking 1 action and then you're doing a pass. You're not skipping the entire generation. You're just passing and you're sort of delaying. A lot of people do a house rule that doesn't let you do that, just to accelerate play. And it is actually quite good, like, because if people are doing, oh, I only take 1 action and then I pass, and the other person's like, well, I only take 1 action and then I pass, and it sort of keeps going back and forth like that. If you just agree that, like, no, if you take less than 2 actions, you're just skipping for the entire generation, then it's even footing for everyone. It's kind of a nice house rule. All right, do we want to buy any of these cards? Well, the physics complex, if we're generating at least 6 power, because power doesn't stick around. You can't accumulate power. Any unspent power at the end of your turn gets converted into heat. So we'd have to be generating at least 6 power per turn to use this. But it's quite good, because you spend 6 power, you put a token on physics complex, and at the end of the game, for every token, it's worth 2 victory points, which is pretty substantial. But we're not really in a position to generate more power. There is a standard project you can do for it, but we're not really looking to do that right now. And we can be worth a lot of victory points, but I don't even know if we'll have that much time to accumulate it. Could we get at least a couple? I don't know. It's interesting, the fuel generators normally cost 1, costs 0. We don't even get our full discount. It reduces your income by 1, gives you more power. Corporate Stronghold costs us victory points, but it gives us a really cheap city. I guess Artificial Photosynthesis does give us 2 power, which would bring us up to 6. Which means not this turn, but next turn. Like, as long as we play the photosynthesis this turn, and then next turn we can play the physics concept, we can put this down. I'm betting we can get at least 4 victory points off of this. We don't have anything else. We don't currently have anything that eats power. We'll have to be careful about that. You know what? Maybe that's the right way to do it. Done. Plus, it gives us more science tag, which does open up some more powerful science tag stuff. It would be nice to trigger 1 more of these. Hellion could potentially do Terraformer this turn. And actually, Tharsis isn't too far away from Builder either. Is there anything we want to do right away? Well, we might want to just pay to put down a greenery. So we get the last auction. The problem is, anywhere we put a greenery down, we'll just incentivize the AI to put a really powerful city. Like, let's say we put a greenery down here, which is totally fine. And then this, well, actually not here because you can't put a city next to another city. So this and this both become really good city locations. I could go put down a city and a greenery as my turn, but then I wouldn't really be able to take my other actions, which includes the artificial photosynthesis, which is very powerful. Okay, I definitely want to do this because I want the power so we can do the sciencey shit. So we're going to increase our power income by 2. So next turn we'll have 6 power in here so we can use the science. I don't have to deploy the physics complex now. I don't have enough money for a greenery and a city. So the question is, do I want to put a greenery down? A greenery costs 23, and it will be worth 1 victory point for itself, 1 victory point because I raised the oxygen, and if I put it next to one of my cities, that'll be worth an extra victory point that way. So it's a 3 victory point play. It does set up good location for the AI to put down a city, but that might just have to be something I eat. So yeah, actually, if I put it here, that's the city place. If I put it there, then that or that is a city place. Either way, I guess I'm only enabling 1 extra city. I can't sort of split the difference to open things up. So do I want to put it here just to get the steel? That might make it be a little bit better. Okay, I think it's worth doing the greenery play here. So I'll spend 23. I'm going to put the greenery here. So again, 1 point for itself, 1 for the TR, and 1 because it's going to boost this city. So it's a 3-point play. Now, if for some reason, maybe the AI's got a bunch of other stuff they're doing, they might... Urbanized area is interesting. It has to be... You place it next to other cities like this. So that doesn't screw me up in any way whatsoever, really, other than it would have been nice if yellow had put a greenery here instead, because it'll give me a point later on. But it's possible no one will play the city here, which means next turn, although we will be acting last next generation, but next generation we might be able to put a city there. I feel it's fairly unlikely that it'll still be available, but who knows, it might be. Interesting in putting city there. They will be able to put a good greenery there, though, so that's going to be all right. So I can put the physics complex down now, but there's no reason to do it because I can't load it up yet. So I may as well do the Vesta probably for the titanium income. And then, again, we can delay the Lagrange until we want to be able to draw that extra card. Although we want to do it sooner rather than later. Okay, well, I know I'm going to need to do this for the extra money as well. So let's do the Vesta Shipyard. And again, there's no reason to save titanium. So I guess we'll spend 0 on it. Well, if I'm going to do that, then I do still have enough to play the Lagrange. Oh, there you go. Someone did play the city. And maybe I should have played that first. If I'm going to do both, maybe I should have played the card that gives us a card draw first in case it's something I would have wanted to do. Yeah, since I'm going to be playing both this turn, I should have played the one that gives me the card draw first, just so I could see the options. I suspect we still would have wanted to play the card that gives us the titanium, but maybe not. Anyway, there's still some good city locations. I mean, it's still here, still adjacent to at least one thing, and then later I can put a greenery there. That's going to be next to 2 cities, which is still going to be quite strong. Yeah, let's Lagrange it up and see what it gives us for the card. Lava flows. Now, that's actually really annoying. Lava flows is a great card. It raises the temperature twice for a fairly good rate, which would be brilliant right now. The problem is you have to place it on a volcano tile. All the volcano tiles are covered. That's a Tharsis Tholus, Acraeus Mons, and Aria Mons. And actually, I think right over here, Pavonis Mons. I think those are the 4 volcano locations. They've all been covered, included by myself. So I don't think this is a playable card. I'll confirm it next turn that it is unplayable, and then I'll go ahead and just sell it as a patent. I could sell it now, but I'll wait 1 turn to confirm that indeed we can't do anything with it. So I'll just do a skip now, and then I'll have to do a hard pass on the next go. Yeah, I'm not the first person to pass this turn. The time for conversion is quite good, actually, because being next to the oceans and things. And importing more from Europa, so there's 2 more... Oh, 1 more ocean left to be played. So I'll go there or there, probably here, because it lets you take a card draw. So yeah, there's nothing I can do right now other than sell patent. I mean, I could build the physics complex because I do have a lot of this, but there's no reason because I can't use its ability this turn anyway. I may as well just pass, keep our options maximally open. So yeah, we got bad luck on the card draw there in that it gave us a card that is unplayable, but that's the nature of those card draws. I guess the earlier you take the card draw, the better, because you might draw a card that needs, you know, no more than blah oxygen. So again, you want it as early as possible, but I don't know. We played economy first, and that's usually a good thing. I don't think I'll fund an award. I think it would be strong for us to fund an award. There's a few we could definitely compete for. We actually might be in a good position for Banker, or maybe Tharsis is. There's Miner as well. So Giant Ice Asteroid, no reason to take it because it gives you 2 oceans. I mean, we'd be able to get 1, and raise the temp twice, and blows up 6 plants from someone. And we'd be able to do it pretty cheaply with the titanium. Hold on. Is it still worth it even if we only get 1 ocean? Someone probably beat us to the ocean, though. We're 4th to play, so that doesn't sound very good. Callisto Penal Mines, we'd basically be playing for the 2 victory points. So we're spending 12 per victory points, which isn't ideal. There's like certain math and stuff you can do with your victory points with the cards. Generally speaking, 1 TR is worth about 10 value on a card, and 1 victory point's worth about 5. This is more expensive for the 2 victory points because it also gives income, which you don't necessarily need. On the other hand, we have frack tons of titanium that we're not doing anything with. This effectively becomes an incredibly inexpensive card to play. And I think is probably worth picking up. We're hoping we can get something that gives us bonus points for Jovian tags or something in the future. I think it's worth just grabbing. The trees aren't bad either. It's a lot of plant production. Needs the temperature to be higher. Trees are better if the temp went up higher than the oxygen, because as long as the temp is high enough to play the trees, then you can get all the greenery here, the old plants, to be able to place down free greeneries and boost your oxygen. So it's a little less good in this situation. Yeah, I'll take the Callisto Penal Mines here. Although there's a good chance what we actually want to do on our first action is put down a city. Or an ocean. If we can play the ocean on this tile, it gives us a terraforming rating, and gives us that card. It's not the end of the world either way. But I also would like a city over here, I think. I guess I can't do both, because the aquifer is 18. So effectively, I'm paying 18 for a victory point and a card. Whereas if I put down the city, it's 25, only for 1 victory point right now, and a little bit of income back, but that doesn't matter because the game's not going to last that much longer. It will be worth maybe some future victory points as I put down some greeneries over here. Well, okay, first things first, we know we need the physics complex. What I need to do is not spend all of this. I want to keep 1 steel so that I can do the space elevator with it. But we may as well discount this for the rest. I think it is worth putting a city down here. Then we put a really good greenery here, and then maybe 1 here later on. And then I suppose I could put 1 down here for more regency. Or I could put the city down here. I guess the math works out the same. I put a city down here, and then maybe I put 1 down here later. Because I put 1 here, I would get a really efficient greenery there. If I put another city there, I can do another good greenery there. I mean, again, the O2 is filled, so I'm a little bit more interested in getting non-greenery-based victory points, which really means not a lot of map crap. Still, city here is worth 1 point now, effectively worth 2 later on. I actually don't know if that's enough. I'm going to be raising the temperature. Okay, let me do this first, in case someone's got a card that takes away power. I don't know if there's any cards that take away bank power. There's cards that take away power income. There's also cards that take away metal. There's cards that take away some heat, I think, too, but we have lots banked. Okay, let me do these. I'm sure there's an optimal play here, but in the interest of actually making a decision and advancing the game. Like, come on, Quill. There's the last ocean. If it had been placed here, it would have maybe changed my math a little bit, because we would have gotten a bit of money back. We could place a city here. It's next to 1 greenery and get this card, which we could actually maybe use a few more cards. I don't like the RNG of it. Nuclear blast zone, so that's going to put down a nuke tile that no one can build on, and raise the temperature a couple of times. Now, if we can get the temperature... Oh, there's no free oceans to get anymore, because if you're the person who raises it to 0, you get a free ocean. So, I mean, there's no reason, I guess, not to raise the temp, because it still gives us TR, which is more income and victory points. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and use that, because it's a 2 victory point move. Yeah, we'll add the token to that card. So we don't actually have a choice, but that's just the way the UI works. Last milestone did go, and it is the builder one. Was that something I could have grabbed? I stopped paying attention. No, I was still one off. And we don't have another building card in our inventory. Still, no one has funded an award, which is interesting. So, if someone were to fund Banker, we'd be in second place, which is worth 2 victory points. I might... You know, what I should do is fund Scientist, because I'm currently in the lead. Now, someone might be able to compete, but we'd still at least get second. Miner is just holding on to the resources we should do. I'm actually wondering, like, if I want to win, and I guess if I'm not playing on the board, all right, you know what? Let's do it. Well, actually, Thermalist is most heat banked, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Miner is fairly likely to happen. What's other people's actual raw income? Because they might be sitting on some stuff. Yeah, but they don't actually mine that much per turn. With our titanium production, like, we're not going to be able to spend enough to keep it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and fund Miner. Now, the first one's 8, the second one's 14, and the last one's 20. Like, we're good on Thermalist now, but 4 heat production, 0 heat production. But are we more likely to get the science? Maybe I don't double fund. Let's put this down. And I will spend this. Do I want to spend it all? Yeah, I do. I think we'll still win Miner even by spending this. Because I think we've got a couple more rounds left. Although, maybe not. Actually, there might only be 1 round left. I may have just screwed myself out of Miner here. I mean, I'm going to get 8 minerals next turn. No. Oh, yeah, and Lava Flows definitely needs to be sold. We're not going to be able to play that. And we got literally... Well, I was going to say literally nothing else we can do. That's not true at all, actually. Let's do the city. And I think... I mean, this is better for if I place another greenery. I think I like the card draw here. I should probably... Banker? I mean, I'm definitely second place banker. What is this? Predators... Action. Oh, that's quite good. I could start eating people's livestock, actually. That's going to be very good for us. Because we'll get to double dip, right? More points for us, fewer points for someone else. I don't think we're going to win this one, like, at all. And I think all my other videos have been pretty easy victories. I don't think it's going to be the case here. I don't know. It'll depend a little bit on the awards and milestones. Which, I mean, it normally does. I don't like how weak our board is. That's usually where I like to score a lot of points. So obviously not Lake Marineris, because we don't have any oceans left. Nurtured Workers gives us -1 victory points. Too late for Space Mirrors. Release of Inert Gases does give us 2 terraforming rating. So, I mean, it's a 2-point victory card. Technically translates to a bit of income as well. But the question is, so we're probably going to play Predators... And it's probably going to get 1 turn out of it. This might be our last turn. That's 14. What else are we going to do? Maybe place down another city? I mean, city greenery is still worth some points. Okay. If we place down a city here, then the greenery here becomes a 3-point play. 1 point for itself, 1 for each bonus to the city. This city's worth 1. So effectively, city plus greenery is 4 total victory points that we're going to get. Yes, 4 total victory points. If we do... How do we... I don't remember. I can see the board again at this point. It's 23 plus 25 is 48. We have exactly enough to go 1 city plus 1 greenery, but then we can't do the predators. So I think I pick up the inert gases. Inert gases plus predators is a 3-point play, because we'll get 2 points from this, 1 on the predators, but it's also a little cheaper. And let's see. That's 28 plus 3 to buy the card is 31, which leaves us with 17, which isn't really enough for anything. But if we get another turn, if we get one more turn, if the game doesn't end this turn, this generation, how much heat do people have banked? Okay, I'm the only person who can raise the heat for free. I don't think it's going to end this turn, so I think the inert gas play, assuming we get 2 more generations, will be worth more. Wow, there's a lot of animals to eat with my predators. I can only do it once per turn, though, of course. Now, the question is, who should we eat with the predators? I forgot we do have a little extra money. Because we look at... one for everyone, but how many is on the card? Is it just the one right now? No, he's got 5 animals. He's getting 5 victory. But the thing is, I'm basically going to deny 1 victory point from these guys. Sorry, that's livestock again. Point Luna. 1 for 1. I think that's lower. 1 for 2. So yeah, eating the animals here doesn't make it. So whether I eat a bird or livestock, it denies 1 victory point from someone. I don't really know who's ahead. Well, Point Luna currently has 15 victory points sitting on this card, on cards, versus 8 from Hellion. Now, but Point Luna's 10 points behind over here. The question is, who might have the better board? Point Luna doesn't seem to have very many points on the board. I'm going to assume Hellion, without going and actually doing all the math, I'm going to assume that Hellion is ahead. Therefore, I will use the Predators to eat one of Hellion's livestock. And then put the animal on my Predators. So I'm just guessing that Hellion is further ahead than Point Luna. Oh! Tarsus Republic stealing some steel from Hellion. Oh yeah, the security fleet. Well, that's one of the reasons they have so many points on their cards. Yeah, I think it was the right decision. I think they're further ahead. What about Tharsis? Okay, they only have 3 VP on cards, which is good. They have a pretty good board, but what about milestone-wise? Yeah, Tharsis has claimed 2 of them, so they have 10 points sitting around here. Tharsis currently has Miner and Banker. But as long as it doesn't end this turn, I should be able to get that. Okay, I'm going to play this. I'm definitely going to use this. I might not take the money by spending my steel. What I should have done here is actually done the thing I was telling you is very annoying, where you just take 1 action a turn and delay. Because I would love to raise the temp this turn so that I get the income, but I don't want to be the person responsible for increasing it. But the thing is, people are mostly running out of money. Although, see, there's a standard project. You can spend 14 to drop an asteroid. They've got enough. They've got enough. They don't have enough. Now, they might have a card. We don't know what cards they're holding. Theoretically, they might max out the temp. And end this turn, which I don't want. Although, hold on. We do get 1 more round of production. I forgot about that. We do get the production on our last turn, which should send us ahead of Tharsis for the miner thing. We'll still be second for Banker. Okay, so I think it's safe for me to increase the heat. Both of them would have to go I'm not going to go and fling my rocks into space, though. Or am I? Well, we'll see. Okay, Hellion has spent their money, so they can't do the heat increase. Tharsis has spent their money, they can't do the heat increase, unless they got a wonky card. So, it doesn't feel like the game's going to end this turn, therefore, I think it is safe to do this. It probably would have been safe anyway. I was going to do some math to see if I spend that steel, if it would have been okay. I think we still end up with the minor bonus, but we'll definitely do it if there's another turn. Unless I get a god card in terms of, like, I'm going to spend a ton of titanium on something, but I shouldn't have to, because we actually have pretty good income. Hold on. I do have enough money. I could do a standard project. I could asteroid, which still won't end the game. I think that's worth doing, actually. This is an extra TR from that, and denies a TR that someone else could have grabbed. Then we'll do a hard pass. Now, I don't know if we're going to have enough heat to do a free rise, but if we do... No, we're going to be one short. As I say, if we do, we're definitely going to want to do it if we can to get the TR, because we're basically... There's only one more person who can raise the heat. So this is definitely going to be the final generation. The heat's definitely going to be maxed out. Whether or not it makes sense for us to spend the 14, well, it mostly depends on what we draw here. None of these things... Well, windmill's worth a victory point, so I guess we probably take that. Yeah. And I mean, we may as well. We have tons of cash and we're going to have nothing to do with it. Well, other than place down cities and greeneries, but this is going to cost us a total of 7, right? 3 here, plus the 4. 7 points for victory is going to be okay. So we'll go ahead and take the windmills and nothing else. Boost livestock. The catapults are worth 2 victory points. The other part of the bonus doesn't do anything much anymore. So I'm going to raise the temperature, so I get the TR. Well, okay. So it's 14 points. 14 money will give me 1 victory point. Could I mean, I could place down 2 cities. Plus, I can do some greenery things. I mean, I'll get a free greenery regardless. That's kind of annoying because I can't double up on the greeneries over here anymore. But I can city here, put a free greenery between the 2. They'll give me an extra titanium, which might be nice as well. Now, I guess it's not the end of the world if someone beats me to the heat. Okay. I mean, how much is this even going to be worth? This is effectively... Oh, I'm already locked in, though. I can't undo. I just realized this is really just a 1 victory point play. Like, yeah, it makes this greenery here more attractive, but it's still effectively only giving us 1 victory point. So that may not have been the strongest possible move. The windmills I can basically do for free, which is fine. I guess I'll asteroid. Or, hold on. Do I just want to put down another green? Thing is, I can't put a greenery down. No, that's not true. As I say, other than here, and I do have a free greenery, I can't put a greenery down anywhere that doesn't benefit other people as well. But I can put it down here, which I think is possibly better. Because a greenery next to a city, this will be a 2-point play. So 2 points for 23 is slightly better for the money than the asteroid. On the other hand, I do deny the asteroid. Do deny the point. Okay, before something happens to my plants and just ruins everything. Do this here. Well, hold on. Asteroid plus greenery would take 37 bucks. I've got 29. I can get 5 extra from here, so I can't do both. The greenery is a 2-point play, so if I can't do both, it's better for me to do the greenery than the temperature. Although, I'll be annoyed if whoever raised the temperature is the person that, you know, ends up beating me by 1 point, because I could have denied it. But I think for me it's better to not raise the temperature. In which case, turn order doesn't matter too much, because I don't have to be worried about being beaten to the asteroid. So what I'll do is I'll use the plant in case someone eats my greenery, and I'll go ahead and slap it between my 2 cities over here. I guess this is another place I can put a greenery, that's true. I guess I do also get some money back from playing next to oceans. I don't think it's going to be enough to change any of our strategy. Mars is terraformed. This is the last generation. So when we're all done, the game will end and we'll count up all of our points. Still think Hellion might be the biggest risk here. We'll try to double check. Tharsis, did you have actual... I want to see Tharsis, please. Yeah, you don't have any food for me to eat, so that's moot over there. Yeah, they've... Hellion definitely must be the biggest competition here. I don't have to do the Predator thing immediately, though. I definitely want to do that, because that's a 2 victory point play. I think what I need to do is put a greenery down over here, because again, it'll be a 2-point play. And then I'll still be able to windmill. Yeah, okay. Especially since I'll get a little bit of money from the ocean play. I mean, I could play here and get a card, but I'd be giving points away. I could play here. Oh, this is actually slightly better. Yeah. That is better. Missed that. It gives me slightly more money, too, which is interesting. I don't think that changes anything. Because it's still not 14, which is what I would need for the asteroid. I have no idea what the final score is. Again, I could go and count it all up right now and know exactly where everything stands, but that's boring, right? So, I want to play that. And I guess I could have had more money. You know, if I was willing to fling this, I could have done the temperature thing, as it turns out. I might have left some points on the table. I mean, 1 point. Well, and a 1-point swing possibly with whoever would have done it. I don't think there's any reason to spend the metal, because there's nothing else I can really do with my money anymore. So I'll keep the metal just in case I need it for, you know, winning the minor thing. What else got funded here? Landlord, which we are going to be second place in by placing that greenery, which is good. We're going to be second point in banker. And we're going to be in minor by quite a lot, actually. So banker is based on your income, not how much money you've actually sitting on. So we're going to use this to eat from Hellion, their livestock, denying them a point and giving us an extra point. And there's no reason for me to sell my metal to get more money. I think money on hand might be used as a tiebreaker, but I don't think that's likely to be something we see. Well, farming's worth a lot of points for Luna. They do have a lot of victory points on cards. I'll give them that. So, I got nothing I can do here. The only action is to spend steel for money, which gives us... I mean, will bring us up to enough money to get a power plant, but we're going to be 1 short from an asteroid, which doesn't matter because we can't raise the temp anyway. And a power plant won't do anything for us because we can't do anything else here. Nope, we can just go ahead and pass. That is the end of the game. Boom, boom, boom. Point Luna doing some microby things. Oh, breathing filters for 2 extra victory points. Watch Point Luna just sneak it in the end. And I'll be like, why didn't I eat their stuff? You do get 1 final chance to spend your plants here. If you end up with enough greenery to place down, or enough plant to place down a greenery, then you do get 1 more opportunity. It is really weird. It'll actually prompt us for it, and we'll have to hit an OK to skip, even though we literally can't. It'll just be like, yep, you can't do anything. Okay, well, thanks. I guess we'll just, yeah. And then it confirms. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do nothing? Yes, I'm sure I want to do nothing. Literally, the only thing I had the option is, if I had 8 plants, I could have put down a greenery. How did we do? I don't know. It would have been really nice if we'd gotten a card that gave us points for our Jovian tags. Well, yeah, see, Tharsis, man. Oh my god! I thought we were going to lose to Tharsis. Yeah, those victory points on cards, 2 points was the difference. Tharsis is a really, really strong corporation because they tend to start with a really, really, really good economy. And that just gets better and better over the course of the game. So they can really just, they can play a lot of cards and they've got flexibility in what they play. 2 points. 2 points is all there is between us. So theoretically, like if I had raised the temperature 1 less time and they had raised the temperature 1 more time, we'd be tied at 81. Like it was that tight. And that happens a lot in Terraforming Mars. A lot of the games are very close. Here, I mean, it's definitely like split into two subgroups over here, but still like super tight. And the battle for third place was 5 points one way. That's one award. Neither one, so no one down here, they didn't get any awards or milestones. We dominated all the awards and milestones over here. Tharsis got a lot more points there than I did. And they had a lot more points from their cities and greenery. So Tharsis had a much stronger board play, which is actually something I used to find in the digital version here that the AI was pretty weak at. I think they've improved that substantially because that was very strong board play over there. And our victory just came from the fact that we had tons of cards with victory points, some static victory points, and a couple so we got what, 4 points, 6 points from our science lab. Can't remember. We got 4 or 6. I think we used it twice, so it might have been 4 points. And then we got a couple points from the Predators. And then we had a lot of cards with just fixed victory points on them, which we were really working hard over there. Actually, my terraforming rating, if I was too lower, that would have been, well, again, that would have been if I hadn't raised the temperature or something like that. That's crazy. I don't think I placed a single ocean, which would have been points there as well. Anyway, there we go. There's Terraforming Mars. Digital version is great fun, and I really like it. And it works fairly well for multiplayer as well. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.